Students, we are solving problems based on Kirchhoff laws and combination of resistors and finding effective resistance and currents in the circuit. In different types of circuits, we have calculated current and as well as equivalent resistance also. And the problem which is displayed on the screen is a part of that. We will be learning how to find out effective resistance in these type of combinations. So see here, there are many resistors which are connected in series and as well as parallel, but you cannot exactly decide that which are connected in series and which are connected in parallel. Can you? Of course you cannot. These two are connected in series, you can tell that. These two are connected in series, you can tell that. But what about remaining? What about this? What about this? What about this? And what about this? You cannot tell because there is a joint here, and here A and B, you are supposed to find out effective resistance between A and B. So this resistor and this resistor are not in series, because you are supposed to find out effective resistance between A and B terminals. Okay, so you cannot identify which resistors are connected in series, which are connected in parallel, looking to the circuit directly. So in order to solve these kind of problems, we will be using symmetry rule. First, I'll explain how to solve the problem using symmetry rule. So in case of symmetry rule, see, you can divide the whole circuit either horizontally or either vertically. Okay. So if at all you are dividing this circuit into two parts horizontally, you can clearly see that the part which is above the horizontal is identical to the part which is below the horizontal. Check it up. This point 3 and this point 5 are identical. If you are considering this as, if you are taking this AB as the reference axis, above AB, how many resistors are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Above horizontal there are 6 resistors, and below horizontal also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Below horizontal also there are 6 resistors. So that is what number 1. Above the horizontal, below the horizontal, equal number of resistors are there. And check it up. Above the horizontal, below the horizontal, like if you are considering above the horizontal line, below the horizontal line should be mirror image for above horizontal. It should be mirror image for above horizontal. Say for example, this is a mirror. If you are placing an alphabet A in front of the mirror, definitely you will be getting one image on the other side of the mirror. Is it not? This is object and this is image. Likewise, if you are placing an object B in front of the mirror, you will be getting image B like this. Is it not? So B, this is mirror image and this is object. Okay. Therefore, when you are dealing with these kind of circuits, you need to check, like after dividing the circuit with horizontal or vertical, you need to check that whether the upper portion of the horizontal is symmetrical to bottom portion of the horizontal. That means if the below part is exactly the mirror image of above the horizontal part, in such cases you can use symmetry rules. You can use symmetry rules. And one more thing, I already told you above part and below part. Like if you are considering above part should be mirror image for below part. If you are considering above part, then below part should be mirror image for above part. When do it become mirror image? If and only if the values of all the resistors above the horizontal are repeated even below. Okay, so see, in this problem we have resistor R, the one which I am rounding it with red ink. That resistor I am considering. If that is R, exactly to that we have a mirror image at this position, and that value is also equal to R. R and R, both resistors are equal, and exactly that is the mirror image. Similarly, you can take resistor which is rounded at the number 3 above horizontal, and below the horizontal I am rounding off resistor of number 1. 3 and 1 are identical, its value is R and its value is also R. Above the horizontal it is its value, resistor value is R, and below the horizontal also it is R. Likewise, you can check it up. Above the horizontal the number 2, below the horizontal the number 6 are identical. Above the horizontal the number 6, below the horizontal the number 4 are identical. Likewise, above the horizontal the number 4, below the horizontal the number 2, above the horizontal number 5, below the horizontal number 3. They all are identical. Check it up. Every value above the horizontal, when you are considering mirror symmetry, the same resistor value should be repeated below the horizontal even. If at all, if I consider this value is 2R, and if this value is R, then you should not consider it as symmetry. That is not symmetrical. Similarly, if suppose this is 3R and if this is R, then it is not a symmetry, because above the horizontal it is not mirror image to that of bottom one, because above the horizontal you have 2R and 3R resistors which are different than the resistors R which are below the horizontal. So you should not consider it as mirror image, even though the circuit is seemed to be as mirror, but you need to consider the values of resistors also. If the values of resistors are identical, then only you should consider it as symmetrical. Okay, now suppose if the same question you are asked to find out resistance between X and Y, where X and Y are the points along the vertical, then even you can check the symmetry along y-axis. Along y-axis, like left side to the y-axis, you have resistor R and R, both are identical. Similarly, you have this resistor and this resistor, both are identical. This resistor and this resistor, both are identical. This resistor and this resistor, both are identical. This one is R, this one is R, both are identical. This one is R, this one is R, both are identical. So with respect to the vertical, left side whatever resistors are there, same values should be repeated right side even, and one should be the mirror image for the other. Then only you should consider it as a symmetrical circuit. If not, you should not consider it as symmetrical circuit. If at all it is unsymmetric, if it is not symmetrical circuit, then that becomes very complicated. You should use Kirchhoff laws to solve current and equivalent resistance. But generally, in your syllabus, you will be asked to find out equivalent resistance in such type of symmetrical circuits. Now what I'll do, in this case, we will be finding out equivalent resistance in between A and B, because the question is in between A and B. You are supposed to find out electrical resistance between A and B. So for that, I'll take this A and I'll take this B, and you can connect it to a battery. Okay. Now I'll explain different methods to solve this problem. So first method, we will consider it as symmetrical method. So given circuit is symmetrical about axis AB. It is symmetrical about the axis AB. Therefore, what I do, the above portion and below portion both are symmetrical. Therefore, you can take potentials above and below the horizontal line as equal, because it is symmetrical. First, let me name those points. Here is point A, here is point 1, right? This is point 3. These points you check. All these points are symmetrical, right? Okay. Now, the point 3 and 5 do have same potential because the circuit is symmetrical. Point 3 and 5 both have same potential. Point 1 and point 2 have same potential. Point 6 and point 7 have same potential. Therefore, simply you can fold the upper part of the circuit to the bottom. You can fold it. You can just fold the upper portion of the circuit to the bottom, and you can find out the effective equivalent resistance. Let us check how to find out it. See, this point is number 4. Okay, I'll take the reference 3 points. I'll take reference as 3 points, 1, 2 and 3. This is AB. This point I'm already it is A denoted and it is B, and this point is 4. Okay, next I'll denote point 2 and point 7 in the bottom. Okay, this is point 2. I'm denoting it point 2. Point 2 and point 1 both are identical. So these 2 points I'll be writing it at the same position. 2 and 1. Below the horizontal it is 2. Above the horizontal it is 1. 1 and 2 have same potentials. Therefore, I'm denoting it with only 1 point. Likewise, 3 and 5 are having same potential. So I will denote it at this position. It is 3, 5. Next you have 6 and 7, which is the same potential. Therefore, I'll denote it with 6, 7. Okay. Now check out the resistors. How many resistors are there? Above horizontal 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Above the horizontal 6. Below the horizontal 6. Total those 12 resistors you need to now redraw in this circuit. Okay. Now check it up. From A to 1, you have one resistor. Okay. Next, from A to 1, you have, first I'll take upper portion and then I'll draw bottom portion. First I'll be denoting the resistors which are above the horizontal to avoid confusion. So from A to 1, we have one resistor, that is R. It is been completed. Next, from 1 to 3, we have one resistor. This is R. I'll draw that here. 1, 2, 3, we have one resistor. That is completed. Both resistors are completed. Next, from 3 to 6, we have one resistor. From 3 to 6, you need to draw one resistor. That is completed. From 6 to B, you have one resistor. This is completed. Next, you have from 1 to 4, one resistor. 1 to 4, there is one resistor. This is completed. Next, from 4 to 6, we have one resistor. 4 to 6, we have one resistor. See, upper portion totally 6 resistors we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also we have drawn the same resistors in between the same potentials. Check it up. You can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 resistors here. 6 resistors above the horizontal has been completed. Now go for the bottom portion. The bottom one, we have one resistor in between A and 2. In between A and 2, we have one resistor. I have drawn it. Next, in between 2 and 5, there is one resistor. In between 2 and 5, there is one resistor. You have redrawn that. Next, between 5 and 7, you have one resistor. Between 5 and 7, you have one resistor. That is completed. Between 7 and B, there is one resistor. Between 7 and B, there is one resistor. That is completed. Next, between 2 and 4, there is one resistor. Between 2 and 4, there is one resistor. It is being completed. Between 4 and 7, there is one resistor. Between 4 and 7, there is one resistor. This is also completed. Totally, how many resistors we have? 12. 12 resistors are being redrawn now. Okay. Now, the whole symmetrical circuit is being redrawn In such a way, you can now identify which resistors are connected in series, which are connected in parallel. Now check it up. All the values of resistors are R. Therefore, these two resistors are connected in parallel. Effective resistance is R by 2. These two resistors are connected in parallel. The effective resistance is R by 2. These two are connected in parallel. Effective resistance is R by 2. These two resistors are in parallel. Effective resistance is R by 2. These two are in parallel. Effective is R by 2. These two are in parallel. Effective is R by 2. So all the values effective resistors we have calculated, that is R by 2. Okay. Now check it up. This R by 2, this R by 2 and this R by 2 both are connected in series. It is in between 1 and 6. These two are connected in series. Therefore, overall, I will be replacing this total with one resistor whose value is R. Okay. Okay. So this part between 2 to 3 it is R by 2. Between 3 to 6 it is R by 2. R by 2 both are in series. R by 2 plus R by 2 become R. That R is in between 1 and 6. I have redrawn it with red ink resistor R. Okay. Now you can redraw the circuit like this. This is A and this is 4 and this is B. A, 4, B. Now mark these 2 points. You have only 2 points left over with. This is 2, 1 and this is 6, 7. Okay. Now check it up. In between A and 2 we have one resistor. What is its value? R by 2. In between 1 and 4 you have one resistor, that is R by 2. In between 4 and 6 there is one resistor, this is R by 2. And in between 6 and B there is one resistor, its value is R by 2. And in between these 2 points we have one resistor, this is R. Okay. Right. Now we have redrawn this whole circuit into this form. This is equal to this circuit. Now it is very clear to understand when you are going for mirror symmetry. See, in between A, 4, B, potential at A, potential at 4, potential at B will be equal because you are considering symmetrical along the horizontal. And you are remember that between A to 4 you have a wire. Okay, and between 4 to B you have a wire, right? But even when you check the circuit, actually there is no wire even. So you can just take this point A and this point B. Now you are supposed to find out equivalent resistance in between A and B. Okay. Now R by 2 and R by 2, these two, they are connected in series. Effective resistance is R. R and R both are parallel. What is the effective resistance? Effective resistance will become R by 2. And you have three resistors left with. One is R by 2. The other one is R by 2. The other one is R by 2. So overall those three are connected in series. Final answer will be 3R by 2. This is the R equivalent between the points A and B. Let us solve the same problem using other method. We are supposed to find out electrical resistance between A and B. Therefore, I'll take this point A, I'll take this point B, and I'll connect it to battery. Actually, battery will not be given to you, but you need to imagine that you are connecting it to battery whose potential is V and the other end is 0. Okay. So we are connecting 2 points. Like suppose if you are supposed to find out effective resistance between 3 and 5, take that battery and connect it in between 3 and 5. Okay. So take that and connect it between 3 and 5. If you are supposed to find out effective resistance between 3 and 5. So wherever in which 2 points you are supposed to find out effective resistance, those 2 points you take, connect it to battery. Now you are asked to find out effective resistance between A and B. So I will be connecting A and B to a battery, right? When you are providing battery to the circuit, what would happen? There develops some current. Now I am considering that current as I. Okay. I current comes to this point A. I current is coming to point A. Understand carefully, listen carefully. That point is coming to this point, like current I comes to this point A, and here it have two paths. One path is from A to 1 and the other path is from A to 2. Okay. So therefore, from A to 1 we have resistor R. A to 2 also there is the same resistor value R. Therefore, the current which is coming to this point get divided equally into two parts. Therefore, current into this resistor become I by 2. Current into this resistor become I by 2. Okay. So first, that is step 1. First step is that the current after coming to this point A, it get divided into two parts. As the resistor values are same, R and R, exactly it get divided into two parts, R by 2 to first part, R by 2 to the, I by 2 to the second part. Now, when current I comes to this point 1, I by 2 comes to this point 1, okay. I by 2 approaching this point 1, again it have two paths that get divided into two parts. So what would happen now? Effective resistance here in this case from 1 to 4 we have only value R. 1 to 4 there is only value R. But coming to 1 to 6, because 1 to 3 and 3 to 6 these two are connected in series. Okay. Therefore, current get divided into unequal parts because effective the resistance from 1 to 6 is 2R. And resistance from 1 to 4 it is only R. So current get divided unequally. Okay, that is like after coming to this point, even some current goes into this, some current goes into this. I name those currents as, like, if this is 2R and this is R, 1 by third part of I by 2 goes into this, and 2 by third part of I by 2 comes into this resistor. Okay. Likewise, here also some part goes into this, some part goes into this. I don't want to make it complicated. So simply, rather than taking 1 by third, 2 by third, rather than taking that, I'll divide them as I1 and I'll divide this as I2. Likewise, into this it become I2 and into this it become I1. Bottom portion also, check it up. Now after coming the same current I2 to this point 4, I2 current to the point 4. So what is your observation? I2 current approach to point 4 above and below reference AB. So above and below the reference AB, I2 current is coming from 1 to 4. Same I2 current is coming from 2 to 4. And the same current is coming to this point. It means that potential is equal. Potential is equal if current is same. So therefore, that means this potential point 4, whatever it is there, this point, at this point 4, whatever the current coming from 1 to 4 I2 current is coming, that I2 current without any division, it should enter into this region. Likewise, I2 current which is coming from 2 to 4, without getting any division at 4, it get entered into 4 to 7. Okay. So my intention is like from 1 to 6, whatever current I2 is coming, without getting divided at 4, same current I2 is entering into this region 6. So therefore, at point 4, no division of current takes place. Current division is not taking place at 4. Therefore, as there is no current division at 4, even though there is a joint, it is useless. You are connecting 1 and 6 and 2 and 7 with this point 4. So even though you have a joint over there, you have a node over there, at that node there is no current division. If there is no current division, then why is that joint taken there? It is useless. Therefore, what I do, simply I will remove this joint in the circuit. I'll remove the joint in the circuit and I'll redraw the circuit. Check it out. This part, only at this part, I'll remove this joint. This part is there, right? Remove the joint. Okay. I'm sorry. You can remove the joint at 4 and you can redraw the circuit. Now, how I'll draw the circuit, you check it out. This is point A. Okay. And this is point B. Point A and point B. And this is point 4. I'll just take those, I'll remove the joint. This is 4 and this is also 4. Okay. And I'll mark this point 1 and this point I'll mark it as 3 and this point I'll mark it as 6 in order to avoid confusion. One resistor here, one resistor here, one resistor here, one resistor here. From 1 to 4 there is one resistor. From 4 to 6 there is one resistor. Likewise, here you will have 1 point, here you will have 1 point, and here you will have 1 point. One resistor here, 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 one resistor here. Right? That is A and B. What you have done? Simply removed the joint at 4. Now, how simple the circuit is? Check it up. This is very easy to solve. Just I have removed this 4 joint. I have removed the joint which is at 4. So the total circuit now is becoming very easy. Check it up. These two are connected in series. These two are connected in series. What is its value? 2R. What is its value? 2R. Overall, those two are connected in parallel. So what will be the effective resistance for this total? This total value become R. Likewise, same thing will happen here also. What is the overall resistance here? R. So I'll erase this and I'll simply draw that R here. So from A, you have one resistor, and then we have one resistor, and we have one resistor here. This is A and this is B. What is its value? R. What is its value? R. What is its value? R. On the bottom, you have one resistor, you have another resistor, you have another resistor. Its value is R, R, and R. Numerator above the horizontal, this is 3R. This bottom, it is 3R. 3R and 3R both are connected in parallel. What is the effective resistance? This become 3R divided by 2. Same value which we have got in the previous method, the same value we have got it here. It is very simple. Okay. Just identify the joint where there is no current division. Whenever you are getting such type of symmetrical circuits, what you need to do is identify the point where current division does not take place and simply remove the joint at that node. Once you identify that point where there is no current division, at that point, as current division does not take place, you can remove the joint. Once you remove the joint, then what would happen? The whole complicated circuit now resolved into a simple form. And that simple form, after resolution, you can identify which are connected in series, which are connected in parallel. Simply, you can just find out effective resistance using basic relations in series and parallel combinations. Coming to the next question, you are supposed to find out effective resistance between A and D. Therefore, you need to resolve this circuit first. Directly, you cannot solve this problem. So what you need to do, you can take any two methods. Like I have told you, one is symmetrical and the other one is current, no division, current division does not take place. So like that, I can identify points where current division is not taking place, and then you can find out the circuit. So in order to go for second method, what I'll do, I'll take this two ends and I'll connect it to a battery. Okay. From this battery, current I comes here, and that current I which is coming to this point, it get divided into two parts. One part into this, sorry, three parts. One part into this and one part into this. Okay. As this is resistance 1 and this is resistance 1, current division is equal into that. And as this is resistance 2, current division will be different. So I will be taking this as I1, and into this also I1, and into this I will take it as I2. Okay. So at point A, we have three divisions. Current into this is I1. Current into this is also I1 because resistors are 1 ohm and 1 ohm. But current into this, it is I2 because resistance here is 2 ohm. Okay. Next, into this second point, you are getting current I2. Directly you are getting it I2, and that I2, it should directly be entering into this point, negative terminal of the battery. Okay, check it up. This is connected to negative terminal of the battery. Whatever current I2 is coming here, that current I2 will be definitely entering into this negative terminal of the battery. So that I2 comes into this negative terminal. But according to conservation of energy and according to Kirchhoff's law, current entering should be equal to current leaving. How much current is supplied by the battery? Totally I. Therefore, from D also, the net current, if you sum up, same current I should enter into this negative terminal of the battery. Okay, therefore, I can clearly tell that current from this 1 ohm, current from this 1 ohm entering should be equal to I1 and I1. At point D, you take the reference. A to D, I2 is coming. From E to D and F to D, definitely I1 amount of current should come. Because I1 coming from here, I1 coming from here, I2 coming from here, all together become I, and that I will be entering into this negative terminal of the battery. Okay. Now come to this point B. Coming to this point B, as I1 current is coming here, I1 current is coming here. Now check it up. Into this part, from E to D, how much current should enter? Definitely it is I1. And from F to D, how much current should enter? I1. Therefore, what is current value at this point? I1. What is current value? Definitely at this point, I1, because same I1 is entering into D. Therefore, you can remove this resistor because E and F are at same potential. E and F are same potential. Therefore, you can remove this resistor. As E and F are having same potentials, what would happen? In between two potential points, two same potential points, no current flow through that resistor. So from E to F, there is no current division taking place. So at E, whatever current is coming here, that current directly enter into this D. Similarly, whatever current is coming from this to this C, same current is entering into this. Because I1 current should come to this point. Okay. Now, check it up. One more thing. At B and C, you have at B and C, those 2 points are identical. Therefore, whatever current is coming here, I1, without getting division at B, directly it is traveling from B to E and then from E to D. Therefore, B and C are also same potentials. Therefore, in between two same potentials, no current flow, you can remove this. Right? You can remove these two resistors because E and F are same potentials. Now you can redraw the circuit. I'll redraw the circuit. Check it up. I'll redraw the same circuit by removing these resistors. This resistor I have removed. This resistor I have removed. Okay. Now you can redraw the circuit like this. 1 ohm. This is 1 ohm. This point and this point, it is A and it is B. From B to E, there is one resistor and that is 2 ohm. And from here, you have one resistor. This is 1 ohm. And next we have this and this both are not there. You have 1 ohm here, and next from here we have 2 ohm, and then from here A you have 1 resistor. This is 1 ohm, and in between these two we have resistance 2 ohm. You are now supposed to find out effective resistance between these two. How is this 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 1 ohm connected? These three are connected in series. As these three are connected in series, what is the effective resistance? 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm. Similarly, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 1 ohm. What is the effective resistance here? 4 ohm. Right? So in between A and D, this circuit can be resolved as A and D. In between A and D, there is resistor 4 ohm, and in between A and D, there is resistor 4 ohm, and in between A and D, there is one resistor 2 ohm. And how is this 2 ohm, 4 ohm, 4 ohm, 2 ohm connected? They are connected in parallel. 4 ohm and 4 ohm, which are connected in parallel, will become 2 ohm. 2 ohm, 2 ohm, again they are connected in parallel, so it will become 1 ohm. So answer is 1 ohm. That is the effective resistance between A and D. So same problem, we can just go with vertical symmetry. So I'll simply drop one vertical line from A like this. Left portion and right portion, they are exactly mirror images. Left portion and right portion, they are mirror images. Check it up. From A to D, whatever the left portion we have, same it is mirror image to the right portion. Therefore definitely what would happen? Potential at point E, potential at point F should be equal. Potential at point B, potential at point C should be equal. So as B and C is the same potential, no current flows through this 1 ohm resistor. I can remove this. Potential between E and F, it is the same. Therefore no current flow through this 1 ohm resistor. I can remove this. Okay. So therefore after removing this, you can again redraw the circuit and you can find out. The solution. What you will do? Simply take these points. Using the mirror symmetry, I can redraw the circuit like this. This is A and this is D and this is point E. E and F are identical, and next this is B. B and C are identical. Okay. Now check it up. From A to D there is one resistor. Next, from A to B, this one is completed. From A to D, one resistor which we have drawn, it is completed. This is completed. From A to B there is one resistor. A to B, this one is removed. Next, from D to E there is one resistor. This one is removed. Next, from B to E there is one resistor. This one is removed. And already EF and BC, they are same potential, so these two resistors are eliminated. Now come to right side. From A to C there is one resistor. A to C there is one resistor. This one I have drawn it. Next, from C to F there is one resistor. From C to F there is one resistor. This one is removed. Next, from D to F there is one more resistor. This is one more resistor. Okay. Now identify the values. This become 2 ohm. This become 2 ohm. This is 1 ohm. This is 1 ohm. This is 1 ohm. And this is 1 ohm. You want to find out effective resistance between A and D. Okay. In between A and D. These two resistors are connected in series. Sorry, parallel. What is the effective? 0.5. Right. Next, these two resistors are connected in parallel. So what is the effective? 1 ohm. These two are connected in parallel. What is the effective? 0.5. 0.5, 0.5 and 1. These three are connected in series. What is the value? 2. This is 1. 0.5, 0.5, it become 1. 1 and 1 become 2. And that 2 is in parallel with this 2 ohm. So 2 and 2 are parallel. Therefore, what is the answer? That is 1 ohm. Same answer you are getting here also.